Stephen A. Smith now regrets voting for Harris, says he's open to voting for Republicans. Huge, huge news from this. I consider him an on the fencer because he does criticize Democrats sometimes, but most of his friends, most of the people he worked for are all Democrats. So I think he was at first toting that line, but now he's like, you know what, the Democrat Party, they lied to me, they lied to us. I'm done with them. He's been a little bit more critical of the Democratic Party, and that's why you have people like Roland Martin attacking him, who supposedly is supposed to be his friend, is attacking him and stuff now. But I can't wait to hear Roland Martin respond to this recent clip of Stephen A. Smith that I'm about to show you, of what he said to Mark Levin. But we're gonna get to the clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right. So let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Breitbart, and they report that sports commentator Stephen A. Smith claims to be fed up with the Democratic Party and, in a 180-degree turn, now says that he regrets voting for Kamala Harris. Smith, who admitted before November's election that he had never voted for a Republican in his life, is now saying he's open minded enough to give the GOP a chance to earn his vote. Speaking to Mark Levin on Fox News, Smith said he is tired of the Democrats and their fear mongering. So let's just play this clip here. Here we go.
I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now. For a second, allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump, and the reason I voted against him and voted for Kamala Harris, was because I felt that he would be divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority.
My concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about, make no mistake about that. And I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people, as opposed to yourself, and not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room, yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're
Right?
not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat.
Even though people have woken up and no longer falling for the Democratic trap, they're still continuing to push the same old rhetoric, same woke bullcrap, um, and the same divisive bullcrap that they've been pulling, and people are aware of it. People are fed up, but they're doubling down on that stupidity though.
Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law, we're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to blame everybody else for it. I don't want to hear about defund the police. I don't want to hear about, what there should be open borders. I don't want to hear this stuff. And I don't think most of the American people want to hear that. We're
Nope.
thinking about the state of affairs that's in. We're not about America only, but being about America and prioritizing what's going on in this nation with the desolate and the disenfranchised and everybody else in between, and looking out for the best interest of what it is for America. That is not a crime for an
Right?
American politician or a commander in chief or a senator or a congressional figure to have that mentality. I want them to have that mentality. So I
Right?
think about things along those lines. And I'm no longer interested in, nor do I believe any of us should be interested in listening to a bunch of fear mongering to tell us who we shouldn't vote for. Why don't you come up with a plan that tells us why we should vote for you?
Right?
That's what I'm
Facts.
interested in. And if Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Byron Donald, Marco Rubio, or the host of other Republican candidates coming down the pike, that's the kind of message that they're going to put forth. I'm down for it. I'm open-minded enough to make sure that I entertain that from a policy perspective. That's what I want for the American people. That's what I want for this nation.
That's why we love you,
Wow.
my man. Now, one quick question. I don't have a lot of time left.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Roly Poly Martin to see this clip, to hear his reaction. His head is gonna freaking explode, man. For someone is actually being open minded, another person that's leaving a Democratic plantation is actually open minded and wanting to put Americans first, which is it's like he said, it's not a crime. It's what we should want in a politician.
Left.
Sure.
You get this all the time. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Kind of a dumb question, but I like it anyway.
I got to tell you something right now. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes, the reigning two-time defending Super Bowl champion. But this guy, Josh Allen, with the Buffalo Bills, the way he's looking right now, he's my leading candidate for league MVP honors. He looks absolutely phenomenal. It wouldn't surprise me
Mhm.
at all if the Philadelphia Eagles played the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills ended up winning the Super Bowl championship. The way this kid is looking,
This wasn't about the NFL or football, but I agree with that too. I can see the Buffalo Bills pulling that out. But it's crazy watching this transformation in Stephen A. Watching it live, watching his transformation and him leaving the Democrat part plantation, and you're seeing more and more people doing it. Annika Sparrow is waking up a little bit slowly. You got Jink Uger waking up slowly. Like it's very interesting watching these people change in real time. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jj.psychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.